Imagine stepping into a huge, sparkling hall where music and lights fill every corner. Now picture a scene where a grand and perfect party suddenly stops because one small, brave child reveals an unexpected secret. This is not a fairy tale where magic solves every problem. It is the true story of a night when a powerful secret changed everything in an instant. In that magical moment, a maid's child, usually quiet and unseen, became the one who spoke the truth and turned a flawless celebration into something no one would ever forget. In a grand mansion built with gleaming marble and shiny glass, a very rich man decided to host the most impressive birthday party of the year. The hall was filled with bright, twinkling lights that danced on every wall. There were colorful balloons, ribbons that hung in perfect arcs, and a stage set with modern screens and speakers that played lively music. Every detail had been planned carefully by experts using special computer programs. These programs arranged the color of the lights, the timing of each song, and even the perfect moment when tasty treats would be served. In every corner, little machines worked with precise timing, sending warm pulses of sound that made all the guests smile. Everything seemed to be perfect, a celebration built on technology, wealth, and careful design. At the same time, there was another side to this grand event, the hardworking people who helped run it. Among them was a gentle young girl, the daughter of one of the maid workers. Every day she helped her mother sweep the floors, dust the tables, and carry small loads. Although she was not one of the guests, she was allowed to wander in the mansion and see the wonders of the party because everyone thought of her as just a helper. Little did everyone know that on this special night, her quiet nature would become the source of a revelation that no one could ignore. As the evening wore on, guests wearing their finest suits and sparkly dresses arrived one by one. They marveled at the giant screens that showed shining images, the high-tech sound system that made every beat crystal clear, and the extra fancy treats that looked almost too good to eat. The lights changed colors exactly when the music needed an extra burst of energy, and every guest felt as if they were in a movie. The engineers, who had spent hours setting up the perfect environment, smiled as they saw their technology work like clockwork. It was all a perfect mix of modern computer control, science, and artistic design. People naturally felt happy until a small disruption began to unfold. The guest list, which had once brimmed with laughter and chatter, started to quiet down as a tiny figure moved from the back of the hall. It was the maid's child, who for many nights had quietly swept the floors and polished the silverware. That little girl, known for her soft steps and gentle smile, had never before been a part of the center stage. Yet on this night, something inside her made her step forward and take her place in the bright light of the grand room. Just as the music reached a high note and the lights were shining their brightest, the atmosphere changed. Slowly, the little girl walked into the middle of the room. The carefully arranged sounds from the expert speakers and the synchronized flashing lights came to a near pause. It was as if the entire party had taken a deep breath, waiting for what was about to happen. What happened next shocked everyone. In a soft but steady manner that carried the weight of truth, the little girl began to share something that had been hidden behind all the glitter and glimmer of the party. With plain words that even a young child could understand, she revealed that the wealth used to create this lavish celebration had come with a heavy price. She explained that behind every shining decoration and every note of the music, there existed choices made without kindness. All the shiny technology and the carefully scheduled entertainment could not cover up a secret. The money that bought this night had been earned by overlooking the pain and struggles of some very hard-working people. Her words were simple. She talked about how the rich man had made decisions that hurt others. Her message was like a small, clear bell that cut through the loud noise of the party. In that moment, the truth spilled out, and it did so in a way that no computer program or high-tech gadget had ever been programmed to do. The secret was that the dazzling party was not only the result of smart computer planning and a mountain of money, it was also built on a foundation of choices that were not fair and gentle. It was as if the perfect picture had a hidden crack that no one had looked for until now. Almost instantly, the joyful music lost some of its charm. The guests who had just moments before been laughing began to whisper and exchange glances. The brilliant lights, which had danced so cheerfully, now seemed to flicker in uncertainty. The perfectly arranged speakers, designed to spread happiness, now played a tune that felt heavy in the air. It was as if the advanced technology all around had suddenly turned cold. The secret revealed by the maid's child reminded everyone that behind every perfect plan, there is always something that cannot be measured by a machine. For a few long moments, the room was silent. Each person in the grand hall looked around as if trying to understand what they had just heard. Some of the guests remembered stories about how workers had once been treated with less care and regard. Others thought about the hidden details behind the fancy light shows and the precise timing of the music, realizing that even perfect computer programs can overlook human feelings. The party, meant to be a celebration of wealth and success, was now clouded by a truth that could not be ignored. A truth that even the brightest neon lights could not cover. In that silence, one could almost see the spark of realization in every eye. The sound system, which had been a marvel of modern engineering, was now a reminder that even the best technology could not hide the flaws in a plan built on wrong choices. It was like when you build a tall tower of blocks, and despite every block being in place, one tiny missing piece can cause the entire tower to tremble. The little girl's brave words had been that missing piece, a small voice that revealed a big truth. Let us take a moment to look at the clever technology behind the party. Special computer programs controlled every light, sound, and visual effect. The engineers had calibrated the speakers to ensure each note was as clear as water, and the lighting system was programmed to shift colors with incredible precision. These systems worked on logic and numbers, on signals and electrical pulses. They were designed to create a seamless experience where every guest would feel the joy of a perfectly timed celebration. However, as we know from everyday experiments in science, even the most brilliant systems can be thrown off by one unexpected error. In computer language, a single bug can cause an entire program to crash. In real life, even a party built on advanced technology and careful planning can be disrupted by one critical truth. The little girl's revelation was much like a sudden error in a computer program. It interrupted the flow of the perfect evening, forcing everyone to pause and face the reality that no machine can hide what is hidden in the human heart. The lesson from this technical twist is clear. While sophisticated gadgets and clever programs can control many things, they cannot control the truth. And in our new digital world, where technology makes many wonderful things possible, it is still a human voice that must check the facts and care for feelings. This simple truth, shared in the heart of a sparkling party, reminds us that even the smallest voice can shine brightly when it speaks honesty. I like to think about this story as a reminder in our everyday lives. Imagine you build a beautiful Lego castle with careful designs and bright pieces. Suddenly, a friend points out that a key Lego piece was missing, and the castle is not as sturdy as you thought it was. It may sound funny at first, but soon you understand that even a tiny piece matters. In the same way, the maid's child showed that no matter how grand or full of technology a party might be, the truth is essential, just as every tiny Lego counts in building a castle that will stand tall. Some of the guests even found a bit of humor amid the shock. They recalled times when things did not go as planned. A computer froze during a video game, or a toy robot that suddenly stopped working. They thought about how even the best plans sometimes have hidden surprises. This humorous comparison helped them understand that even though the revelation was heavy, there was a lesson to be learned. It is important to fix errors and learn from them, whether in a computer system or in life. I personally believe that the most important message here is that truth matters more than money or fancy effects. Wealth can light up a room and create bright images on a screen, but truth shines from within and touches the heart. A kid who dares to speak the truth shows us that every person's story has great value, even when that voice seems small. In our own lives, we should always search for that honest voice inside us and listen to what it says, for it may reveal important lessons that technology and money cannot cover. As the party continued in a changed mood, many guests began to reflect on the ideas brought up by that brave little girl. They started to think about the people working quietly behind the scenes, the cleaners, the cooks, and every helper whose effort often goes unnoticed. In the midst of many beautiful technological displays, they realized that each small act of kindness helped build the perfect picture of a community. No computer program can calculate the value of a kind heart, and no fancy light show can hide the importance of fairness and care. The grand mansion and its high-tech gadgets now told a deeper story, a story where every decision, even those made in secret, can change the course of events. Much like a scientific experiment where every variable matters, a giant party is built on one positive choice after another. When even one choice is not made with care, it creates ripples, just like a small stone tossed in a calm pond sends ripples across the water. The maid's daughter, by speaking out, set off her own ripple that spread through every guest's mind that night. This story reminds us that even in a world filled with modern wonders, the human side of life is what truly counts. We may use the greatest of machines and the best of planning to make our lives easier, but it is our feelings, our honesty, and our care for one another that give life its real sparkle. Slowly as the night drew on, the once lively party began to quiet down. The rich man, who had orchestrated every minute detail of the celebration, looked around with a heavy heart. He seemed to realize that no matter how many lights he could control or how many guests he could impress, the hidden mistakes in his choices could not be covered up by technology. The sophisticated systems that had made the party shine now appeared as reminders that perfection is not built on lies or hurt feelings. Guests wandered from the main hall and gathered in small groups, discussing the surprising secret they had just heard. In these quiet whispers, the story of the little girl grew. People compared what happened to moments in their own lives, times when a small but honest act made a big difference. They remembered moments when they had been brave in speaking up, or when a friend had pointed out a small mistake that led to a better outcome later. In this way, the ruined party became more than just a failed celebration. It turned into a lesson that connected everyone who was there. Some recalled funny times when an error in a video game or a minor glitch on a computer screen made them laugh, realizing that even mistakes can be important teachable moments. In the end, the party was not just about bright lights and big money. It was about human truth and the lessons that come from admitting and correcting mistakes. Through a simple act, the maid's daughter transformed a night of extravagance into an unforgettable story of honesty, reflection, and hope. As the grand hall began to empty and the last of the lights dimmed, a new understanding settled over everyone who had been there. The beautiful party, with its high-tech magic and sparkling decorations, was now remembered for the moment when a small voice spoke the truth. That small voice, coming from a maid's child who had always worked quietly in the background, had shown everyone that every person counts and that even a tiny act of honesty can change the world. The secret that had been hidden in a mountain of wealth and fancy designs was now known, and it made everyone rethink what is truly valuable. Think of it like this. When you build a strong sandcastle at the beach, every grain of sand matters. If just one part is not set right, the whole castle might crumble. That night, the careful work behind the party was spoiled by a secret that should have been known all along. The lesson for us is clear. Wealth, big machines, and high technology are wonderful tools, but they can never replace a warm, kind heart guided by truth. As we look back at this incredible night, let it remind us to always listen to the little voices around us. Whether it is a friend, a classmate, or someone who seems small and quiet, their thoughts and feelings can hold great wisdom. In a world that often focuses on the glitter of money and technology, this story shows us the power of truth and fairness. No matter how advanced our tools become, the honesty in our hearts is what truly keeps us connected. Before we finish, I want you to remember this important message. Even if you feel small or unnoticed, your voice can make a big difference. Just like the brave maid's daughter who changed a whole party with her powerful truth, you too have the ability to make the world better with your honesty and care. Let this story be a reminder that behind every perfectly planned moment, the most important parts are the human choices that fill our lives with meaning. Thank you for joining me in this story. If you enjoyed learning about how a single voice changed everything at a grand celebration, please click the subscribe button to join our family of truth seekers and kind hearts.